All right, welcome to episode 139 of my FX Buddies, the podcast. Oh, I'm on the wrong. Okay, so I say podcast because there's a blog, and you can find the blog at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com, and you might want to go there because there's a lot of articles I posted articles. Some of them I'm not going to talk about for time's sake, because I try to keep these to 30 minutes. And some, like I said, not everyone cares about the same things. So I try to put a variety. That's what I'm saying. A variety of articles, but during this time that I'm talking, I talk about what I think is important. All right. Okay. All right. So we'll get into it. RSS.com has the transcript, and it's pretty good. Then Spotify.com has audio and video content, and Apple Podcasts, anywhere. Just internet search my FX Buddies, and you'll find Rumble for people who like Rumble, my FX Buddies. Yeah, so all right, so we'll get into it. Um, so isn't this funny? Look at the title for today. Al-Alaq, our critical position is very excellent. Not just excellent, like last week was. It may have even been last Sunday, where he came out and said our position is excellent, right? So today they're very excellent, but I'll tell you why I think he did this. So this is today. Oh, it is Sunday. Sunday. It is Sunday, December 1st, 2024. 30 days left, right? Well, because it's an evening, it's 6 o'clock. So countdown for the end of the year. All right, anyway, so yes, and it's early enough where this should post for December 1st. So we'll look forward to the week, see what this week brings. But this is what happened over the weekend. Oh, and let's see, he doesn't really say. Actually, I do like this. He says, thanks to the well studied and wise financial policies of Sudani's government. So he's giving good credit, fully support, right, of Sudani's government. Oh, let me turn the. Okay. Um, so he says, because of that, the country's monetary position has become very excellent. So this position came to reassure citizens and confirm that there are no real fears of any economic crisis occurring here or there. The monetary position in Iraq is very excellent at the present time in terms of controlling inflation, the high adequacy of foreign reserves, which enables the central bank to remain stable, defend the exchange rate. But, you know, yeah, which, you're at 1310. And achieve monetary stability despite the circumstances surrounding the country and the region. Remember, the official rate on the CBI is 1310, 1,310 dinars per dollar, but the parallel market, which they still have today, is in the low 1500s. There's no more 1490s. It's back up 1500, 1510. All right, let's see. The reserves covers, that's nothing new. Let's see. I did have background noise, but guess what you won't hear? Let me see if you'll notice what you won't hear. All right, central bank success in implementing the transition plan for foreign transfers in line with international practices and standards, and that it is currently taking place smoothly and transparently. especially covering imports at the official exchange rate. So there, the official exchange rate is 13.10, which leads to general stability in prices. However, if you read, there was an article talking about warning if you get rid of the, this system they've been using, you're going to have skyrocketing prices. And then they did talk to some people, some citizens who are still complaining about prices, and especially the holidays for them are coming. You got Victory Day tomorrow is the best friend holiday, or Tuesday. Tuesday is a holiday. It's like the best friend is something. It's weird. And then there's three different. The Yazidis have a celebration, then they do Christmas. So there's a lot of holidays in the month of December. And then eventually, later in the month, they will announce the whole country is shut down the last week of December. But anyway, at least that's what they've done in years past. I mean, critical services are still open, but just like we do here, right? Well, if you've ever worked in corporate America, the last 2 weeks where I worked, when I did work, we were on what they called skeleton crews, right? So the offices were open, but just minimal staff, right? But anyway, so, all right. So, yeah, so then that's really not important. Okay, so keep that in mind. Oh, here's the article. So something to the effect of this came out Tuesday. Let me read this to you. Warning against canceling the electronic platform. It may end the banking system in Iraq. So this is, pessimistic fear, right? Which could, is warranted in their case because the banks have been crooked for 20 years, right? And then imagine someone who's 25, that's all they know. The way the banking system was is all they know. And then now, we're supposed to believe, oh, you're going to do everything on the up and up, right? Okay, so let me read the sentence to you that causes the problems. The Central Bank of Iraq intends to cancel the electric platform for financial transfers early next year. Now, who's saying this? A researcher and specialist in financial and banking affairs, Mustafa Hantouche. But now that should sound familiar. If you listen to me, Hantouche, right? That name should sound familiar. We say it a lot, and I emphasize touche because it's very close to Tish. But he goes on TV, he's interviewed a lot, but he's not the CBI and he's not the government. But the fact that he said that, the citizens in Iraq are fearful. They're like, oh, it's a delay because you said December. Remember, Al-Alaq said we're going to do this in 2 weeks. 2 weeks would be about December 10th through the 14th, right? So yeah, and may, emphasis on I may actually have access to an Iraqi citizen through a third party, an American. But we'll see, because anyway. But anyway, so I'm going to tell you what that person said to me yesterday. They said, hey, I have this friend who's Iraqi. And on the news, they said there's going to be delays because someone on TV said that they're going to start the new transfers early next year. Is this true? Are you hearing this? Is there an article to confirm that? So my first thing was like, can I call you? I wanted to call them. But then the whole day went by and they didn't answer. So I'm guessing they don't want to talk. So I said, yes. If you're uncomfortable talking, I understand. But yes, and I showed them this article. This is the article that has got the people, at least some of them, because even if you listen to Frank 26, his person, Eddie, was saying the same thing. Okay, so now do you see why possibly Al-Alaq came out and said, not only is our monetary position excellent, it's very excellent, right? And not only that, this transition is going smoothly. Where's the word smoothly? So, there. It is currently taking place smoothly and transparently. Well, apparently it's not that transparent because the citizens can't see it, right? And they're freaking out. At least not all of them, but some of them. And just a little, what do you call it? Example, sample of two, but they're two totally not related, right? Um, Iraqis. So, so really, you should read this article. It's a good article and has a summary. Some people forget that they have partnered with Citibank and J.P. Morgan, and they're being audited by Ernest Young. And I thought Oliver Wyman, yeah, Oliver Wyman is there. So yeah, it's the thing that has, and understandably, this guy is they see him on TV, much like a lot of people over here. They see someone on TV, their opinions are seemingly respected, right? So we're going to listen to them because they're on TV and they make Twitter posts and they have articles. They're interviewed by different news, quote unquote, news sites. And he gives a lot of details. And then you have Al-Alaq come out and say, hey, the process is going smoothly. Trust. It's almost like that phrase where people say, trust the process, right? So I don't know, and it's just a tough situation, but at least they're trying, right? The government, because Al-Alaq is, even though they say the CBI is not, it's separate from the government. It's the government. But anyway, so yeah, so that's the thing going for now, right? So we'll see if they'll take the word of Al-Alaq, and then that's why it's kind of jacked up that there's those group of people that keep calling for him to retire. Al-Alaq, right? Those group of parliament members who keep calling for Al-Alaq to retire, because then that puts doubt against him. Well, why should we listen to him? There's some people in parliament who want him to retire, right? So now there's going to be another article that we'll come to. Okay, so Sudani went to Spain, and I didn't report on it because it's all the same stuff, right? Yes, we want to build and grow, and we want to invest in Iraq and blah, blah, blah. But here they did put out a bullet point of all the people he met with when he was in Spain. So if you want to read that, a lot of people like those bullet points. I put that there. Here is a specialized website that paints a positive picture for the future of investors' work in the Iraqi energy sector. So if you want to read that, that's there. See, it's kind of long, but I know some people like those articles. All right. Mohammed Saleh, advisor to the financial advisor to the prime minister, he came out and talked about how many accounts they have, how many debit card users, or whatever, how many people are getting their salaries on the card, right? So that's good progress. All right. Finance confirms its continued efforts to implement automation plans and use modern electronic systems. All this really is saying is The Ministry of Finance is continuing to follow through on Sudani's government plan where he wants everyone on the electronic payment system. There's a lot of words in here, and also some people in the Dinar land are taking this to mean, oh yeah, see, they're gonna do it. And here, if you're one of those people that listen to what I call the Twitter pumpers and the people who over sensationalize things, December 1st came and went. I don't think there was any auction for bonds. I didn't see it. Now, you know what? I haven't checked the CBI site. Let's do that right quick. Well, let's see if I have it up. All right. Let's, nope. There's no updates for December 1st. See that? So, you gotta be careful. I'm not saying don't listen. Just be careful. Listen, and here's an auction they had today for Sunday, December 1st. And it's over the 250 million mark. So, don't listen to these people that just whatever. All right, so Iraq suspends official work on Tuesday, December 10th. But this is Victory Day. This is the whole country. This Tuesday is a smaller celebration, something called Best Friends Day or something like that. All right, here, what I keep saying is how they have a lot of nerve trying to tell everyone they have to get on this the POS system when they had stoppage of some of the ATMs. And why? Temporary interruption in internet service. So they need a reliable. So there's a short, very short uh, article. Then there's a longer one here. Sorry, the ATM is being serviced. It will be back shortly. Now that's a different message, right? But there is they have weak, also momentary interruptions occur due to weak internet connection. So it's they need to get 24-hour internet, 24-hour electricity, which will then give them 24-hour internet before they can mandate, in my opinion, before they can mandate everyone go on these electrical things. Here was opening of a new branch of the Trade Bank of Iraq in Baghdad. And they had it there and it was on TV and everything. Oh, look at all of that space there. I'll need to get rid of that. Okay. And here is, if you're not paying attention to the T-Man, and how can you not, right? But you need to listen to more than one perspective, right? And since we're getting close to 30 minutes, I'm not going to go into it, but you need to read, okay, especially about these sanctions. Yeah, I'm just not gonna. But I have that article there if you'd like to read it. All right, and also, well, I will say this. Look at this. They're saying he's gonna focus on sanctioning Tehran, but not Iraq. So we'll see. Oh, I hope you guys can't hear that prayer. It comes on louder than everything else. Okay, so that is a good article. You should want to read that. Okay, so now this is the articles for today. And there's Miss Betty Boop saying hello December and happy Sunday. I like that. It's very colorful picture. All right. So today there was supposed to be, well, there was a parliament session, but it did not end well. Um, it was late starting. They had to postpone because there wasn't quorum, but the people were there because if they don't show up now, they don't get paid. So they'll show up to the building, but they won't go in the parliamentary hall. They'll go to the cafeteria, or they'll stand out, or another like side meeting room, or they'll just stand out in the hallway. So then they did come in and have a quorum, and it led to altercations, and so they postponed it till tomorrow. And I know there's people out there saying they were going to do the second reading. The budget was never on the agenda, and they normally don't like to sneak things in, because what does that do? That gives the people who want to cause trouble a reason to rise up and cause trouble. They have to do things constitutionally. So I know there's people out there who are excited, and they want to be the first one to report something, but reporting false or misleading, or you know, it's just not good, right? But anyway, so there was much discussion about. Oh wait, before I get into that, I was going to show you. Here's what they talked about, or they tried to talk about: the general amnesty law, the personal status law, and this something about returning land to certain people. That's what was on the agenda. There was nothing about the budget or the budget schedules on the agenda. You don't see here where they talked about it. And whatever, they didn't get anything done anyway because they ended up fighting. All right, but the Parliamentary Finance Committee, they talked about the oil and gas law. They talked about oil prices, this Somo company, which is the state-owned oil company, and the committee raised a number of questions about the basic standards related to production costs, in addition to the payment of financial allocations and the extent of commitment to contract terms, while emphasizing the formulation of amendments that achieve justice in the distribution of resources. Ding, ding, ding. That's HCL. That's if it's resources to the citizens, which I believe it is, through data analysis and adapting contracts in line with the national requirements. So then here, oh yeah, here it is. Appropriate solutions to ensure justice in the distribution of oil revenues, achieve economic stability, and guarantee rights. So that was a serious meeting. All right, let's see, but that's not Parliament. All right, okay, Private Bank Association, they had an increase. If you want to read that, you can. This is interesting. Government advisor, which is usually who? Yep, Mohammed Saleh. Financial inclusion to increase from 20% to 48%. So that's what they want. They want more people involved in the new banking system. And here again, excuse me, is another article. Excuse me. About uh-oh. Uh-oh, we might get interrupted. Okay, anyway. 2025 budget on the table of the Parliamentary Finance Committee and Ministry of Oil. See? So a shorter article about the longer one that I just went over. Here, Parliament postpones its session until tomorrow, Monday. Here is a report that's long, but this is not one of his longest. But it's long. But it is Samir al-Nasari, right? Monetary stability achieves economic stability and sustainable development. And anytime you hear sustainable development, think of what? Agenda 21, which is now Agenda 2030, and also Agenda 2050. And you should look into those things. It's all the same, but as the years go by and they fail in their wicked plans, right? They have to change the year, right? So they're never going away, right? Unfortunately, but whatever. All right, so let's see. he was in Cairo. Was he in Cairo? Yeah. At an Arab Sustainable Development Week. That's totally whatever. Let me not go there because we're running out of time. But this, I would like for you to read this paragraph here. This requires the necessity of activating the banking system. Banking system. Oh my gosh. Activating the banking sector and stabilizing the pillars of the monetary position, which is foreign reserves and what's the other? Just their gold and money that they hold is enough to cover 140% of what they need to cover, right? So again, this should go with the people being uneasy about them uh, saying it's going to be early next year now, not December, right? Okay, it achieved a qualitative shift to regulate foreign trade financing. And that's the new system, right? Alrighty, let's see. Moving on here. Association of Banks says 75% of the money supply is outside the banking system. So remember, they had gone up to 80 something. Now they're down to 75%. And this is the Private Bank Association. So he may know, he may not know, right? That's a good one to read. Okay. Oh, look. I have this article here twice. So I'll delete it. I will delete that. Okay. TikTok under scrutiny. Central Bank, the Iraqi Central Bank, suspends financial transactions with its agents in Iraq. I didn't even know they had TikTok in Iraq. And then here's another article. Parliamentary Finance Committee sets a national path to end oil disputes between Baghdad and Erbil. So I like that title, but it pretty much covers the same thing. But you might want to read that. And let's see. Here's the one where I said, and there's another article I'm going to show you. This is the one. A member of parliament accuses former Iraqi central bank employee of being behind U.S. sanctions. So I don't think they give the name, but I bet you he has the name. Here's the member who's saying this. However you say that, right? Right here. Let's see. And he's saying that there's 32 out of 72 banks that were sanctioned. Another article will say 28. So, who knows? A former employee of Central Bank hid the emails received from the Federal Bank, which is ours, right? JP Morgan and Citibank to inquire about some issues related to the bank's work. So, with this out, and look, here we have Mustafa Hantoush again in the news. So he's even saying, well, this maybe they're right, but we need to do an investigation. But they've already done it. If they're saying this person did this, and they have the emails, obviously, right? They've already done their investigation. So I think this bodes well in support of Al-Alaq that he's not the corrupt one, because that's what they're saying. That even though the ones who want him gone, they tried to say he was corrupt, right? But when they did their whatever little investigation they did, they said, no, you can't prove he's corrupt. So now they're saying, well, he's over the retirement age, right? Remember that. But I think that is a good article. Let's see, what was it entitled? MP, which member of parliament accuses former Iraqi central bank employee of being behind U.S. sanctions. So you might want to read that. And we could skip this. Just International Bank, International Development Bank is now on the Kurdistan bank list for people to get their salary sent to. It's that system called My Account. And then I just threw this in here because you rarely see other countries go to the Talibanis. So here, um, this guy right here, he is a Talibani. I don't know if his name is Pavel or Babel because in different articles they spell it different ways, but whatever. I do know he's a Talibani and he is a trip. But anyway, yeah, so there he is meeting with German companies. So I just thought that was interesting. And they gave him a little gift of some sort. And that's it. All right, it's 30 minutes, so I'm going to wrap this up. So that's pretty much everything that happened over the weekend. Well, there is some situations brewing with Syria. All of a sudden, things are blowing up, spontaneously combusting in Syria, and it's evident there's some mm, kablooies coming from somewhere, and someone's blaming Russia, but it doesn't. And for me, no, I don't study that that much, but it seems Russia and Iran are friends, right? And what's being uh, affected in Syria are known to be Iranian uh, properties. Let's say that Iranian properties. So I don't see why Russia would do that. But, whatever. And I'm not going to get too deep into it. But it's like whack a mole. Okay. So we just had a ceasefire in Lebanon. Now there's eruptions in Syria. I mean, even so much where Assad and Sudani have spoken at least 3 times on the phone. And Sudani's like, yeah, we'll support you in any way we can. So there's something brewing there, but I don't think that's going to uh, interfere with what we're waiting for. But just something to keep in the back of your mind because, we have stations, not stations, what are they called? Military bases. We have bases in Syria. And yeah, so I don't know. But there's always wars and rumors of wars, right? So, but just keep that in the back of your mind. I won't post about it unless it gets necessary to, right? All right, so thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this is the last day of the holiday weekend, right? Everyone going back to work tomorrow. Yeah, so thanks for listening, watching. I hope it helps. I really uh, hate confusion and misinformation and people who just pump stuff when the information is good. I mean, Al-Alaq is saying everything is very excellent, right? And the transition is going smoothly. So I would rather go with that information. And it is quite possible that it won't happen in December and it will go to January, but you know, whatever. All right. So thanks for listening. Oh, if there's a like, subscribe, join, follow, whatever button wherever you are enjoying this content, because I do not post regularly, it's a good idea, just in my opinion, to activate that button. So when I do post, if all things work as they're supposed to, you'll be notified. And then you can watch or listen at the new post. All right. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals. Pay all your bills. Pay attention to world news, the BRICS, the tariffs. Read up on that stuff. All right. Until next time. Thank you.